He basically just essentially tried to kill this guy with a plate, and now he might be out of jail. And like, what, if you're willing to rationalize this in your head, like what else are you willing to do? Is this like one of those fucked up people who just like, you know, kills cats without people knowing, and then eventually his brain can't help it anymore, and he ends up like, you know, pulling a Ted Bundy or some shit? Like, I don't know. What's up, guys? Derek, moreplates.com. Today I was digging through potential new topics and whatnot, and sometimes I'm not immune to, you know, viral content. I sometimes stumble across some shit that's wild, and I just can't help but go down the rabbit hole and watch it. And this was in the subreddit today. It was from another subreddit, Crazy Fucking Videos, and I was like, huh, what is this? And it says, does this look like an accident to you? 44 pounds on his face. I'm like, fuck, like, I'm clicking this. So it's apparently a just released CCTV video of somebody that put this guy in prison. So that's your disclosure going into this. So if you're easily startled, or I don't know, just don't fucking watch. It's wild. So you see him walking up. He has this 45-pound plate, and you look at this shit. The guy is about to do the unthinkable. I'm gonna restart from the beginning. Walking over, literally goes and fucking pile drives this plate onto this guy's face, and then acts like his fucking ankle is messed up and he tripped by accident and dumped it on his head. He's like, "Are you okay, bro?" And then stumbles away while this guy's sitting there with his fractured head. I was like, what the actual fuck, dude? Like, it seems like there's no one else in the gym, but it was captured perfectly on this camera here. Like, all I can think while this guy's walking down there is like, what is going through your head at this exact moment? Like, are you that wildly deranged of like a fucked up, like psychopathic, like sadist, essentially? I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Sadist, presumably, where you just like get off and like inflicting pain on others or something. Like, I don't get what could have gone through this guy's head in order to rationalize this as being like a funny or anything, you know? Like, this is not just to like trip and pretend to trip and fall. The guy literally like winds up for it and then like chucks it right into his face. Boom. Absolutely. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever accidentally dropped, you know, a 45-pound plate on your toe at the gym, or I don't know, crunched your toe on like dropping a dumbbell or some shit. Like, it fucking hurts. Even that, just like smashing a weight on your foot by accident, not a great feeling. Or when the worst is when you're doing a lateral raise and you accidentally like clip your fucking dickhead. Not good, bro. And this guy just had a 45-pound plate dropped on his, like, slammed, not just dropped, like literally pile drive slammed into his face while he's totally vulnerable in the middle of a goddamn dumbbell press. Oof, fucking absurd. And this guy has the gall to go up to him after and be like, "Hey, bro, are you okay? Like, fuck, I don't know what just happened." And then just like stumbles out, and this guy's just like, who knows? Like, apparently he had a very bad head fracture. This was posted 9 hours ago, has almost 1,600 comments. This is the story that broke. Darwin man jailed after dropping 20-kilogram weight on gym goer's head. This was published literally today. Or at the time of filming this video. Horrifying moment. A man slams a 20-kilogram weight on a gym goer's head by accident, quote unquote, as he lay on a workout bench, causing brutal injuries to his skull. A man who caused horrific injuries after slamming a 20-kilometer weight on a fellow gym goer's head has been jailed. Sickening CCTV of the incident at a gym near Darwin almost 18 months ago has emerged. So this isn't like this didn't just happen. It's the CCTV footage that was just released, presumably. And he ended up pleading guilty on the day of his trial. Let's see. Court heard the two men at the Next Level Gym in the Palmerston suburb of Rosebery, southeast of Darwin, early one morning on October 2020. CCTV played in court shows Ryan picking up a 20-kilogram plate, walking towards the victim lying on a bench on his back lifting dumbbells. He gets sentenced to 19 months jail. And like, is his sentence like done now? Or I guess he's over halfway through his sentence right now. So what, this guy gets out now, like, fine? Like, Really fucked up because it was apparently not prompted by anything that made any rational sense to whatsoever. It's a very dangerous act as he was jailed for 19 months, but court heard relations between the pair had been amicable and friendly and that there was no motive for the unprovoked attack. So the victim was vulnerable as he was lying on his back and had weights in his hand. He was unable to protect himself. He also had no reason to believe that you would attack him as you did. The lack of an obvious motive for you to have engaged in this offense is troubling. He said, where there is obvious motive for an offense, it is often possible to assess the likelihood of the offender reoffending. That is simply not possible in circumstances where there is no obvious motive and you have chosen not to shed any light on that issue. So he must serve at least 10 months behind bars before he's eligible for parole. So I don't know, is he already like out of jail on parole? Victim was lifting dumbbells. Yeah, so like he basically just essentially tried to kill this guy with a plate, and now he might be out of jail. And like, what? If you're willing to rationalize this in your head, like what else are you willing to do? Is this like one of those fucked up people who just like, you know, kills cats without people knowing, and then eventually his brain can't help it anymore? He ends up like, you know, pulling a Ted Bundy or some shit. Like, I don't know. These people seemingly they have, now I'm not an expert on, you know, like criminal psychology or anything, but seemingly they have like, you know, escalating needs, and you know they're willing to push the boundaries, and you can like, you know, repress them or whatever, but I mean they end up doing something fucked up, and then to get like, you know, their next dopamine hit because their dopaminergic set point where they're at homeostasis is like so fucked up now. It's almost like the porn situation. These people who are watching more fucked up porn in order to get off, to get that new like dopamine hit, they end up finding like they go from like, you know, the nudie mags that their dad had, and then, you know, at the end of, you know, by the time they're, you know, 30 years old, they're watching like, I don't know, like fucking like bestiality videos or some shit. Like it's the wild spectrum of like mental fuckery where brains just get desensitized to shit. And it's probably the worst it could be with, you know, individuals nowadays that are like actual psychotics. I can only imagine like what the fuck like the brain circuitry must be for these individuals. Must be absolutely wild to think like what could have rationalized this guy's behavior whatsoever, and to like be so fucked as to say after like, hey man, like, are you okay? Wild, dude. Comment section, that's intentional. Got 2 free years membership in some government gym out of it. He'll be eligible for parole after serving 10 months. They said dude's skull is fractured and has issues still. Maybe I'm crazy, but honestly, what I see in this video is attempted murder. A grown man, adult with that much weight in his hands, targeting another man on a bench, not even aware. And you can see in the video, he takes a run at him and throws it down on his head. Very hard to believe he got 2 years or 10 months. It's a visible wind up too. It wasn't just the weight of the object in his hand. There was some force, I agree. Victim can sue him in civil court. That shouldn't even need to happen. Like, holy fuck. This shit is crazy to me. How could a judge see a clearly premeditated murder attempt and basically let him walk? Yeah, like obviously this guy had been planning it, you know, waiting for him to be the most vulnerable on a bench, and then like walks over and just winds up for it hard. Shit would have been brutal if he did it more competently too. Everyone this guy ever meets needs to see this video and know he is a dangerous coward. The attacker is a sick person that literally wanted to murder a random person. Totally insane that he wasn't charged with attempted murder. Yeah, I don't know how the judge rationalizes that too. Probably had a fight in the gym with friends like this. Good to know if you want to murder someone, you just need to befriend them first. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone has more insight on the situation. Like I was like thoroughly interested in what if this guy had a statement as to what prompted this activity, but he's just like, you know, no noticeable motive whatsoever. He just literally almost kills this guy, and now he might even be out on parole. Pretty fucked up. So that is the viral video of the day. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. All the comments help the algorithm. Much appreciated. Like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplace28.com. Follow me on Instagram, @moreplace28, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I'm associated with in the video description below. My preventative medicine and hormone replacement therapy platform, where you get connected with high quality medical providers who create individualized protocols based on your own needs, which are warranted based on appropriate diagnostics, biomarker assessment, etc. And this does not just involve pharmacology. It often involves lifestyle changes, sleep hygiene assessments, dietary manipulation, potentially natural supplementation. A lot of people haphazardly get thrown on hormones when they may not otherwise need them. Sometimes you're just, you know, hypercortisolemic and they just have horrible sleep patterns, and it ends up, you know, significantly reducing their ability to produce hormones or they end up in a hyper like sympathetic dominant state, and they end up, you know, driving down other functions unintentionally, but they don't even realize how much simple lifestyle modifications could improve their quality of life and health, and they otherwise think they need hormones when they may not. Or hormones may be entirely warranted, and in that case, you know, having a high quality medical provider who understands, you know, thorough literature on the most up-to-date research on pharmacology and endocrinology is definitely critical in my opinion. So if you want to get a high quality provider who is broad spectrum in essentially optimizing health, lifestyle, etc., and is non-judgmental as well, you know, we have enhanced individuals in our practice, of course, that are just looking for a doctor who's going to keep tabs on them and, you know, make sure they are not fucking themselves up as much as they would otherwise potentially. You know, proper ancillary introduction, monitoring lipids with the most accurate biomarkers that are reflective of cardiovascular disease risk, inflammatory markers, things that otherwise go overlooked at a lot of different labs that, you know, have predetermined panels that don't take into consideration everything you'd want to see. So you can check that out. Kind of a long-winded spiel, but I think it's very important to get a high-quality doctor in your camp. As well, if you want to support me, Gorilla Mind, nootropic formulas for cognitive enhancement, memory formation, information retention, mental clarity, etc. Designed the formulas myself. As well, our pre-workout formulas I also designed too. You can check those out, gorillamind.com, and anything else I'm associated with, it's all in the video description below. Thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.